good job.
You do.
Not just responding to the calls that we're required to respond to, but maintaining the equipment and just the overall, operating the fire department.
You know, and thank you. I will give you just an analogy of the board model. Pepperell's deficit didn't happen overnight. Pepperell was confronted with a $2 million deficit. And, you always can do Monday morning quarterback, and how did Pepperell get in that position? It's not going away. We're doing our best. It compounds every year because of inflation. The model that we have here is such that it's so distributed that we have a weak board of selectmen. By design, it's a weak board of selectmen. The town got itself in a position, and it's extremely difficult to get out of it because we didn't change the model in advance of getting into trouble. So you're going to hear us talking about a charter and things of that nature. You have a town administrator, you pay some good money, has no authority. No authority. It's the Board of Selectmen. So it depends on who you elect as a selectman and what they bring to the table to then guide the town. Somewhat similar to the Board of Engineers. It depends on your Board of Engineers and what they bring to the table. I think you mentioned that. Or don't bring to the table. Then when a situation happens, it's too late. If they didn't have the right skill set, if they didn't have the right training, more importantly, accountability. Who is responsible? And who can you hold accountable as a town? So now we're confronted with this large deficit. Just recently, the DPW had to, and I think maybe, I don't know if you were here for the budget hearing, an 8% increase because there were problems in that structure with the enterprise funds. So ratepayers were charged an 8% increase because of problems on the budget side and on the fund balance side. So I would caution you to be careful when you advocate. I will not support this, and I'm going to come out and say it now, without the firefighter support, because I think you do a great job. But I would caution the department that if something goes wrong, there will be change, and it won't be necessarily generated from inside. There'll be other forces at play that will make a change, similar to what's going on with the town. You see the change at the town level on the finance and on administration. So I think it's something I would like to meet with the department, because I think that the Board of Selectmen, I think we're separate. We're kind of distant. We don't really know what's going on with the department, and I'd like to hear from folks. So.
Is that something that needs to be posted to set up a meeting between the selectmen and the firefighters?
Yeah. And we'll go out. I know some folks are probably don't want to come in front of the camera and talk. I can't speak for Michael and Patrick, but I'm willing to go to the firehouse. Questions that are in advance, you can ask me, what I had for breakfast in the morning, and I'll answer it. If folks are concerned about, if there's any kind of nervousness about asking particular questions. But I would enjoy that kind of back and forth. But I am uncomfortable with supporting this because I don't think that the support is within the department.
Allowed to say something?
Yes. Yep.
This is obviously not the first time this has come up. And as a taxpayer, as a resident of the town, I can't think of a better fire department than the one we currently have. The volunteers, which means that they really want to do this. It's not just a power type thing. They want to do it, and they do a great job. The last time this came up at town meeting, I spent, I would say, close to 6 weeks preparing for that particular town meeting, which incidentally, I thank you guys, because the last time I couldn't find that there had been any discussion of the strong chiefs law, which got me particularly very, very upset, because it should have been brought up publicly at some point in time. And I couldn't find any record of any minutes anywhere that it had been brought up. So I did my own research. I assume just like Toby just did. However, what Toby did not mention in his research is that the towns that I spoke to, who had gone, in particular Groton and Townsend, that had gone from what we had to the strong chief, found themselves in a full-time fire department, unionized, having to make provisions for overnight stays, and the chief's salary no longer was in the framework of the personnel board. It was like our chief of police becomes negotiable, and there wasn't one in the communities that I actually talked to the people, that said that they would even support it if they knew what was going to happen 2 or 3 years down the road, they never would have supported the strong chief, because then you're dealing with a situation like we have with our police chief. And under the laws of Massachusetts, they have a tremendous amount of power. Then you get the unions, and then you have to get facilities for the overnight stays. It's costing them a lot of money. Now, this was 2 years ago. I can only imagine what's going on in those towns now, having to pay full-time firemen and paramedics, full-time police chief, they now have lieutenants under them who have to be paid. It becomes a full-time department, just like you have as a police department. My theory has always been, seeing as that I'm kind of an old-timer, I guess, but it's not broken, why fix it? And if you're gonna try to fix it, don't go from something that's working well and is cost-effective right now to something that we're not gonna be able to afford. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Judy.
as a taxpayer, I would be really upset if I saw that happen. And I think that's why you saw the vote at the town meeting.
Just for, I'm not aware, Groton and Townsend, I'm not aware that they have overnight firefighting staff,
They don't.
okay, or that they're unionized, so I work with both of those towns pretty closely. As far as I know, they don't have a firefighters union in either town, and they're not paying for overnight staff, so
But the other towns that I surveyed, and I've got the information, I still
Yeah.
kept it. Somehow I had a feeling this was gonna come back, and I'd be happy to deliver it to Peggy, and you guys can look over the stuff that I got, the names of the towns, people I talked to, know a lot of them.
Okay. Well, my thoughts are, this is, as a selectman, the first time it's come in front of me. I'm not an expert on this. There seems to be a lot of questions. The explanations tonight are sort of all over the place. And I'm still, right now, I don't have a compelling reason to support it. And, I understand, Toby, some of the challenges, day-to-day stuff, which are probably just a lot of big headache at times, and I don't know if there's other ways of getting around that, and whether it's additional hours for a clerk or something, and again, obviously that costs money, which we don't have, but I'm just not, right now, I'm just not convinced it's the right move, and I think sort of what Joe is getting at, some hearings or discussions, so that it's not only the selectmen understand, but the FinCom understands, and just the public in general would understand what's in front of them, because this goes in front of town meeting. There's going to be so many questions, and people won't know what they're voting on, and ultimately, who knows what would happen. So I just I don't have a compelling reason to say yes to this, and aside is thinking, you got a current situation which is working. It sounds like it has some challenges, just like us sitting up here and every other operation in the world. And for lack of better word, I think a little more homework needs to be done, and presentation needs to be done if this were to move forward. My thoughts right now. And again, I guess I don't know, were you guys looking for an endorsement, a yes or no, right now from the selectmen on this?
Well, whenever you'd like. I mean, I certainly support you going out and talking to the firefighters and EMTs, getting their input, because there are, I certainly, we didn't bring the ones that were in favor of it tonight. There's certainly a lot that are against it, so, here, so, you could have done that, but I, just wanted to present it to you, and, let you go out and speak to some of them, and then come back at a later time and give us whether or not to go forward with it at town meeting.
I would like to formally go as a board. If you allow me.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea,
Yeah.
just, and again, I mean, people, if we go to the firehouse, that's probably a more comfortable place, and, you know, we're not the big bad board of
Mhm.
selectmen, we're just like everyone else, you can throw
We're
any
still the
question
board,
at it.
but-
Yeah,
Joe, what is the process at this point? It's not on the warrant at this time?
Any department and any citizen could put something on the warrant.
Right.
Now, it's a matter of, will the board, and this is a new procedure we put in place, support it? Then we'll take a vote, on the articles
Okay.
that are on the warrant.
yeah, right now.
Yes.
It is on the warrant.
Okay, so it is on the warrant.
And our, whether, you know, things can still go forward, the board of selectmen can support or not support something, and it still can go to the body for a vote up and down, so.
Well, without your support, I think it'd be foolish of us to go forward.
Yeah,
so
well, just
Well,
wanna
there's
explain
that-
the
Yeah, that's
vote.
how practical is it,
Yeah.
moving forward with an article, something like this, without the selectmen's support.
Just the reason it's on the warrant now is because there was a deadline to
Right.
put something on the warrant,
Placeholder.
so we had to,
Right.
It's a
had to go
placeholder.
forward with that in order to have this conversation, so.
Yeah, from my position, I can see, there's obviously evidence there, you know, there's lots of towns that have gone to it. Have they gone to it for the right reasons, and have their benefits, you know, become what they thought they were? You know, probably, I bet if you did a little more research, some of those towns have gotten benefits that the extra cost, has cost them. And, you know, in my experience, sometimes there is a need to, now, I don't think you're the guy who just makes all the decisions on your own, but we don't know that. But sometimes there is a need to make decisions that are not decisions by committee. So I can see where this is, but again, I haven't heard from the public, the need to do it. But I would like to see, you know, more research on the benefits and, you know, and more justification, so.
Okay. Yes, Dave?
What's the difference between the strong chief and the weak chief, and then would the weak chief be compromised?
I'll have to
Because he
defer that
mentioned
to,
sometimes that's just another thing that hasn't been considered.
No, the difference would be that the weak chief, the selectmen appoint the firefighters to the companies.
We want that. We don't want that.
we got enough on our hands.
Yeah, it's a kind of it's a bizarre hybrid kind of way of running things, you know.
That's why we weren't suggesting that.
No.
Okay, well,
Not- no
it's a good
offense,
question.
but, yeah.
Good.
No offense taken.
It's only 2 more nights a week.
Know my limits.
Okay, anyone else, any other further comments or questions? Do you guys wanna get back to us on proposed dates for a meeting, okay,
Captains can talk to the companies, and then we can get together and see what works for you gentlemen as far as the meeting to get together. And,
Excellent.
A general meeting too, would that be too late?
The Tuesday, I don't know if that's good.
We'll work with, through John's
Yeah.
office, and he'll,
We have another meeting on the 13th now.
we're going with the Tuesday schedule
It'll be
though?
the last of- it'll be almost the very final. Don't you have
We're
to-
meeting on the 28th.
Right, but they were talking about having a meeting on the 5th of April.
That's our regular
It's a little
meeting,
late,
so.
yeah. So we have to have the
Post the
warrant
warrant
done
on the
by the 15th, right? April.
You wanna work with
We'll
John to set up a
work with John and
date?
get a date.
Okay,
good.
okay, all right, thanks Toby, thanks John, thanks Peter,
Thank you.
thanks guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is 6, item number 1, the Family and Medical Leave Act, non-discrimination and equal employment